You have so many different strategies you could pick from for all the memory events, but you have to go through and find which one is the best one, and that does take time, but there is one that is the best strategy hands down. And so it comes from a deck of cards. Now, when you memorize a deck of cards, the idea is to memorize it as fast as possible. And so you go. That's it. So you memorize it in 2.7 seconds. But here's the thing. You go through the deck one time if you want to memorize it as quickly as possible. Because if you do any reviews, guess what? It's going to take more time. And so that's not going to help you at all. And so the strategy for a deck of cards is to go through it only one time. So the best strategy is the one-time strategy. Now when it comes to the different memory events, you're trying to memorize as much as possible in that time period, right? How many numbers, how many binary, how many dates, how many words, how many names. Spoken numbers is a little bit different because it's like cards, but you can't go back even if you wanted to. But also, there's a set amount of numbers you're going to be given, right? And so if you reach like 500 digits, there's not going to be a 501st digit. No, there's just not. That's not how the event runs. But what you have to start doing is you have to start using the one-time strategy in your different training sessions for these different events. Because just imagine, when you memorize a deck of cards, you have to be so confident in whatever you picture, in whatever card you read, because if there's any doubt, you're going to completely mess up the whole trial. If you hesitate during the memorization, which, man, I used to do this all the time. I still do, but I'm working to get better and better and better. You go through, and you're like, wait, what was that? Okay, got it. That kills you. And so, to get to the fastest point possible for a deck of cards, you go through it one time. Now, think about it. If you take that strategy and apply it to all these different memory events, guess what? If you could go through 500 digits one time and be so confident in your images, be confident in the numbers that you actually read, and that you actually have all these down, wow, you're going to really take your memory to a whole new level because you're completely changing how you're going to memorize the information. Now, of course, during a competition, you want to go with the best strategy that you found out for yourself. Maybe you go through half of the digits for half the time, or you memorize for half the time, then review for the rest. It's totally up to you on what strategy you want to use, but every time during your training session, if you use the one-time strategy, you will get better. You will be able to memorize more digits in a given period of time because your confidence in your memory ability is going to go higher, and your skill is going to be so much more better because you're developing that idea, oh crap, I only have one chance to go through this information. I better get it or it's over. And so that's why I believe it's the best strategy out there. I don't use it all the time in a memory competition because I have to use whatever my best is at that moment. But definitely during training, I go through so I don't backtrack. I go and train like, oh my god, everything is right in all this one pass through. And it does suck in the beginning because you realize you might not be able to hold that many digits, that many images, I should say, in your head at once without reviewing them. You're trying to memorize 500 digits, guess what? Probably after the first 200 and you go 300 more, those 200 in the beginning start to become really shaky and not as clear as the last ones. And so that's the whole idea of the one-time strategy, that everything is going to be clear enough for you to recall the information. So try this out. Let me know how it works for you, or if you actually start using this, like this is like your go-to strategy, because I'm always looking for ways to improve. And this is one way to consistently improve in all the memory events, because you have that special kind of motivation. It's all or nothing. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time.